Hi everyone and welcome back. This week we will mostly be working with this truck, and you might be thinking that I finally bought something nice, but this isn't mine. This is a father of a friend's truck. It's an 1985 K20, and it's been down to another country here in Europe and has gotten this paint job that's actually quite nice. But other than that, it's pretty beat. Its interior isn't that nice. It really needs some work here. But overall, it's decent. But he wants this to pass inspection, so that's what he wants me to do. The people that were working with this said it has electrical problems and the indicators wouldn't work. And I'm convinced that they don't work when they're zip tied to the frame. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this thing and what's wrong and what isn't, but he wants to be able to drive it and be street legal, so that's what we're going to try to attempt. But this thing has a 6.2 diesel, so of course it doesn't start. It started when it arrived here in Sweden again, so the first thing we have to do is try to get this thing started. I'm gonna try and start it out here. It would be easier to get it into the garage. But if not, we just push it in there with the forklift. So that's what we're gonna do. So I tried to start this thing when I was picking it up, but it wouldn't start. It cranks fine and glow plugs seem to be working and all of that. But I saw this, so it has an electric fuel pump, which these old 6.2s doesn't regularly have. You have the mechanical pump on the block. And I can't get this thing to run. At least not with the electrical harness as it is. If you turn the on ignition, it doesn't start, and there are no switches or anything in the truck that turns it on. I followed the cables and found a relay here that seems to be controlling it. If I put some positive here, we get it to work, but I don't know what is supposed to be starting this relay, so I have to find that out, or I will just make a temporary positive cable here, so hopefully it will start and we can drive it into the garage. I managed to get it running, so thankfully. So I'm gonna drive it into the garage and I'm gonna explain what I think is wrong. Okay, so we have it here in the garage, and I was checking the electrical for the relay there, and they've taken the signal wire from the ignition cable to the pump up to the relay, and everything seems to be working, so I think the relay has given up, so we're gonna try and change that. Otherwise we have to do some more troubleshooting, but I'm glad that was easy. So I'm gonna look at that a little more. I'm gonna look at the electrical. He said they complained that they couldn't get the indicators to work, and I bet they didn't. You can see cables sticking out everywhere and have fallen out of the cable ties and everything, so we have to look at that. So I'm gonna start looking at some stuff in the truck and I will be back. Okay, so this is really a bigger mess than I even thought when I looked at it from the outside. I mean, there's not a single cable that's connected here anymore. It's a big mess, so I have to untangle this and see what we can get to work. This I don't know, probably electrical for the hitch trailer lights, but we have to see. Also, have you ever heard of straight pipes? This must be the straightest pipe I ever seen. But it has a muffler, but this exhaust looks horrible. But that's what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna untangle this and I will be back. Okay, so we have all of this untangled and it looks better, but absolutely not good. And I don't know which is left or right, but we can imagine this is right. And you see we have two sockets there and one here. And obviously we need two, so one is completely gone. And it just looks like crap. I have to buy some sockets. I think I will buy all of them new so we can get this working properly. And he told me that the people that had been working on this couldn't get the indicators to work, but I don't know if it's a miscommunication or something, but I mean, nothing could be able to work on this thing. So Here in the front we don't have any bulbs at all, and we have a lot of cables going everywhere. We have some xenon boxes here from some extra lights, and yeah, it's a proper mess. But I'm gonna start tackling this, and one thing I have to do is I have to fix this. If you know squarebody, you know that these are on the wrong side. The corner goes here and the rounded edge goes around here. So you have to flip these because I can't stand when they are wrong. I think it looks so ugly. So that I'm gonna fix that. But besides that, I mean, it's an old truck. It's bound to have some electrical issues. So I'm gonna start messing with this. Okay, so we come a bit on the way here to fix all of this. Got the indicators to work. Unfortunately, I'm missing a lot of bulbs. I have to buy some new. But all of this I have gotten to work. And these work, I just don't have a bulb for them. And also all of this in the rear. Thankfully, I had some of these sockets to get this working. In case you're wondering here why I have split position lights and the indicators, is because in Sweden it's not allowed to have flashing brake lights. Yeah, after a certain year, I think it's 1975, you have to have amber signal indicators. So that's why they are like that. Now this stopped. Yeah, I have to fix this. I'm missing some connectors, so I can't really do that today. But besides that, I also have I rolled from this frame. It's a 1975 Blazer. The body is there. So I have to do some rust repair on that so I can get that out of here. But besides that, tomorrow I'm going to look on another vehicle that I've been thinking about back and forth a lot. And I feel like I really have to go and check it out before I say no. So I will be back tomorrow when we have decided about that. Okay, so you know me, of course. I bought it, and it's a 1971 El Camino. And I don't know if it's sold new here, but it spent a lot of years here anyway, and it's been used in all of weathers. So it looks decent at first sight like this, but it's really rusty. I mean, really rusty. It's really bad. Look at these control arms for the rear axle. They are junk. So it definitely needs a lot of work. And as you can see, we have something there in the front, but not a transmission. So we have an engine. And the interior is what I would like to call decent. I don't know if this bench is original. I don't think so. But it matches the carpet. And besides the headliner and one missing door panel, I have a set of door panels with it. It looks kind of decent in here, I would like to say. So then the big question is, what do we have under the hood? We have a 6.5 turbo diesel. At least it says 6.5 here on the valve cover, but we very obviously have a 6.2 intake, or at least a 6.5 NA intake. We also have a mechanical pump, which says this should be a 93, or it's a 6.5, a later 6.5 with a 6.2 pump, or yeah, something. Doesn't really matter if it's 6.2 or 6.5. It's supposed to work, but the person I bought it from never had it running. And also one more strange thing is that this engine has provision for or they all have provisions, but it has a mechanical pump, a feed pump in the truck. So I'm really not sure about this engine, what it is, but as I said, doesn't really matter. But of course, gonna try and get this thing running. And as I said, it didn't have any transmission, but I got a rebuilt 700 R4 with it. And the guy that I bought this from, I learned to know him because I bought another transmission from him. He does transmissions, so I'm confident that that will work. So that's about that. And as I said, it is a 71, but it has a 70 front end with the quad headlights. which I prefer than the dual headlights. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this thing. I have a bad habit of buying junk, as you know, but as a first I want to get this thing running and driving so we can move it around here in my backyard. But then we have to see. It's, as I said, really rusty, and it's so rusty and all the parts are bad that it's not really worth parting out either. So I think it's more worth to save it in some way, at least maybe do the patches that need to be done to get this thing on the road. But it will never be any high-end restoration because it's not worth it. But that's about that with the El Camino for now. I'm going to try to not work on it right now. It would be fun to see if the engine starts, but I have other stuff I really need to do before I start working on this. So I need to go back to the K20, do some electrical stuff to get that out of here, and then we can start working with something fun. So I have to keep on working with that. Okay, so it's Wednesday morning, and I've been thinking about something. Some of you commenting, and I know that a lot of you are thinking that I have so much junk and how my brain can wrap around all of this without getting stomach wounds. So but I don't know, is when I come out every morning and see all of my junk, I don't know, I just get happy. So it's just some stupid thing with me. I like junk. But anyway, I've been looking at this from my house window, and I had a 71 El Camino a few weeks before. I didn't show it here on my American channel, but anyway, this is also 71, but it has the 70 front end, and I don't know why. It just feels like a totally different truck. I really like the 70 front end with the quad headlights more than the dual headlights. But I really want to work on this, but I really have to do other stuff, so this will have to wait to probably next week. But besides that, you see that I have gotten my two-wheeler Suburban back on the ground, and you know that I messed up the fuel sending unit, so I made a poor fix on it to just make this run and drive again without leaking a lot of fuel. So that's what I did. So now this thing is running and driving. There's something wrong with the brakes, but at least it's movable. So, and I don't know why, but I really just love this thing. The two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, the only difference is a rod here, but it just I don't know, it just feels like a whole different truck. I love this thing so much more than I ever liked the red one, that was in so much better condition and an overall better truck in every way. But there's something with having 5 lug nuts instead of 6. It's a stupid thing that I get caught up on, but I don't know why. I just love this. But I have decided I'm gonna put this away for a while, maybe try and add on it. We'll see. I really don't have time to fix it. It needs a lot of work, but we'll see. But anyway, unfortunately we have to do some boring work today. I really have to get this frame stripped and do some rust repairs on it. As I probably mentioned earlier, this isn't mine, this is a customer work. We have the body here, it's a 75 Blazer. I really need to get this fixed and off to sandblast and paint so we can get this out of here. And also we have to work on the K20. I didn't do anything yesterday, I just picked up the El Camino. So now I really have to button up this so I can get this out of here, get that out of here, so that we can keep working on my stuff. Okay, so I made some big progress here on the K20. All of the taillights are done, license plate light is done, I have the trailer lights connector done, so we're all done in the rear, and all of these are fixed, and everything lights wise is done. And that was basically what he wanted me to do. He said that from the beginning, from what he heard from the last mechanic, the indicators didn't work, but we saw that nothing worked. So all of that is done, but this thing just keeps on giving. We already know the fuel pump relay was bad, so I have changed that and that works now. The windshield washer doesn't work, so we have to buy a new pump. And the floor switch for the high beams didn't work either, so that's been changed. And the wipers didn't work, so I thought the wiper motor was bad. We had electricity here, but it just clicked when I tried to apply power. But then I realized that they had put on the wipers wrong, so they went down too far and got caught on this. So they locked up. But besides that, we're pretty far ahead. We had to do some stuff, but the major thing right now is to wait to the windshield washer pump. But one thing I want to mention here, this is a really stupid Swedish rule that we have. So in America, you have your VIN plate in the windshield with the VIN number for this specific truck. But in Sweden, we don't believe that that's enough for some stupid reason. So when every American vehicle comes here to Sweden, we have to stamp the VIN number into the frame. And that's been done to all of these trucks back in the day. And now they are getting older and rusty. So these numbers, of course, rust away. And when they do, you don't pass inspection and you get in a hell of a lot of trouble. And also there was a time when, for some reason, they shortened the VIN number. When you searched for the license number, they shortened it down to 14 digits when you have 17 in the windshield. So there's a bunch of complications with that. So I checked this and I found this number here. And for some reason, this only has 15 letters. So we're missing 2. So if I went into inspection with this, if there's someone that wasn't looked so hard, he will probably only check the last to see if it matched and he would accept this. But if he read the whole thing, we would be missing 2 here. So to not have that problem, I have made a new number here with all 17 so that we won't have any problems. But this is a really stupid rule here in Sweden. It has caused a lot of problem for people getting stuck in the inspection and having to go through a lot of hard work to prove that the truck is what it is. And yeah, you get my point. But anyway, that's what I have achieved now. I have to do some last work here and hopefully can try to get this thing to inspection. Okay, so we're back at it again, Thursday morning. So today we won't be working much on the K20 because I'm missing the windshield washer pump. And when I get that, we can put some diesel in it and try to drive it and see if we can how far we're from getting it inspected. But so we're not going to work on that today. So we're going to work on something really fun and something really boring. So the plan for today is I'm gonna clean the Suburban a bit more. We're gonna clean the outside a bit more, get all of this off. We are going to remove the sun visor, and I'm going to pressure wash the whole interior on this thing. It is a really nasty inside. It doesn't really come up on video. It smells really bad, but you can see it's pretty bad. So we're gonna clean this, and that will be the fun project for today. Then we're gonna put this away for a while so we can see when we're gonna work with that next. And the boring thing is we're gonna work on this. I have to do some rust repair on this. I showed you earlier. Some of the body mounts are bad, and that's not the worst thing because I saw that we had this really, I don't know what to call it in English, but when you rust, you get these flakes. So I started to try and hammer that away, and I punched a hole in the frame, fortunately, and it's bad over there also. It's a bit better, but not good. So I have to remove the rear hangers for the leaf springs. and fix that, and then we can get this off the sandblast and paint, and the owner can get this back. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna work on that and Suburban, and I'm also gonna unload the El Camino. We're not gonna work on that now, that will be a future video, but I wanna move some stuff around here. I wanna get rid of this. I wanna take out my Firebird. I'm gonna move it up here, and hopefully in a video or two we're gonna do a video trying to start that thing. So that's today's project. So I removed all of the loose crap here in the truck, and plan is I'm gonna vacuum so that I don't have all of this on the ground afterwards. There's a lot of dog hair in this thing, and I mean we have a whole forest here in the back. So I'm gonna do a little pre-cleaning with the vacuum, and it will probably already look a lot better after that, but then I'm gonna take the pressure washer through this whole thing. So we have vacuumed the interior, and it looks a lot better already, but it's not perfect. There's a really moldy spot right there, and it looks like crap in the trunk and all of that. So I'm gonna start pressure washing this now, and I have my foam gun to my pressure washer, and I have this interior thing. I don't know it's any good, but that's what we're going with. I also, this may be a very stupid thing, but I have put in some chlorine, I don't know how to pronounce it, that is for my hot tub in this. So some powder, and maybe that will neutralize the mold or something, or I will ruin the interior, we'll see. But I'm gonna start spraying it down. Okay, so I realized that some of you people will think I'm really stupid with this, but this truck is really that bad. This floor mat is really damp, and this has been sitting for a while, and you can see here it's water in the truck everywhere. I don't know where it's coming from, but it really can't get any worse. Otherwise we have to remove all the interior and clean it. So I think this would be good. I'm gonna take my water vacuum later, and we're gonna suck as much as this out, but gonna keep putting on some of the cleaning detergent thing, and then I'm gonna pressure wash all of this out. So it's been soaking for a while, and I've gone over it with a dish brush to clean it a little bit, but I tried some here with the pressure washer, and it's starting to come out. You can see all of this dirty water pouring out, but I'm gonna go on it here, and I have this thing I bought specifically for this purpose, to get in everywhere and to be able to wash. So I'm gonna keep on working. Okay, so this took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it turned out really nice. Also washed it on the outside, so that looks really good now, and I think this turned out really good. It smells a lot better in here, and it looks a lot better. Of course there's a lot of water here, this is insane that you can see how dirty the water is still. But I'm gonna take my water vacuum and suck up all of this, and we can see how the finished result is. So now I vacuum the front right and rear right, and it's already full, so we're gonna see how that looks. Okay, so it's crazy how much dirt there can be in one car or truck. I have been at this for like 3 hours pressure washing, and there's still a lot of crap still in it. So I'm just gonna keep on sucking out the water. Okay, so we're finally done. I had to empty the water bucket 3 times, so there was a lot of water. And there's probably a lot of water left here, maybe 3 buckets more, but I can't get that out. This is obviously very wet. This is also wet, and we have a lot of sun deadening on the underside of the carpet that's also wet. But I can already read the comments how some of you will tell me that I have ruined this truck. I will have all sorts of electrical problems and whatnot. But in my opinion, water is only water, and the only time water can do damage if it's sitting for a long time, or if for now we would try to start it and do all electrical stuff. But now the battery is off and we won't put it on for a few days. So the plan is during the daytime I will have the doors open so it can air dry, and in the night I will have I think it's called a dehumidifier or something, to dry the air out of it and close the doors and so we can get a lot of water out of it. And next week we will try to start it, and I will show you that we won't have any problems. So it would have been better to remove the interior, but I think this was so gross I didn't want to work in it. Now it's at a state where it's much nicer to work on. If we wanted, we can remove the interior and wash it another time, but now it is good enough to use it and work on it. So that will be probably all for today. This took the whole day to clean this thing, but I'm really satisfied with the result. I think we got them from a rust bucket that was gross to something that you would want to save. But that will be all for Suburban this week, and I really need to get going on the Blazer frame. But I don't have much more time today, so I will probably be back tomorrow. Okay, so we're back and it's Friday, and I really need to get working on the K5 frame. As you can see, I put it upside down here because I need to cut everything. Unfortunately, we have very salty roads here in Sweden, so everything rusts. So they will never come loose. These I have to cut because they always rust in the sleeve for the bushing, so that will never come out. So I just take the zip disc and cut here to remove it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean off the whole frame from stuff, and then I will be back and we're gonna do some rust repairs. Okay, so I got the frame all stripped here, but unfortunately it started to rain here, so I don't want to pull out my welder right now. But we have the axles, all the stuff that's going to the sandblaster and going to be painted, but I have to fix the rust issues first, but I don't want to do it in rain. So I'm gonna clean up here a bit, then I think we're going to move the Suburban. I'm gonna pick out my Firebird and we're gonna put it here so we can work with that maybe next week or the week after that, and we can unload the El Camino and stuff like that. So let's do something else. Okay, so I went ahead a little bit and welded in all of the patches, so we only have to grind this and drill the holes, and then we're done with this. Okay, so we have the frame all done here, all nice and smooth. I just had to file this hole a little bit, but my battery died. But we're all done, so that's really nice. And now you just have to unload El Camino so that I can put all of this junk, so I can get this to the sandblaster on Monday. So let's unload it. So we have the El Camino unloaded and all of the Blazer stuff is loaded, headed to the sandblaster next week. But that's probably all we have time to do today. I forgot to show you this morning, but I emptied this last night and it was half full, and I emptied it this morning and it was completely full. And as you can see, it's almost full again, so we have a lot of water in here, but obviously we get a lot of it out. So I'm not worried. I think this will turn out great. I'm gonna start this thing next week, no problems, I swear. So that will unfortunately be everything we have time for this week. I would have liked to have done a lot more, but time flies by. So yeah, let's see. We can see what we will be doing next week. Hopefully we will be trying to start the El Camino. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.